People confess massive secrets they learned about their deceased loved ones. 1. They found laundry baskets full of money. My great-uncle Ray and great-aunt Anne lived in a little house on the outer edge of town, never had children or pets. Their house was always in some disarray. The roof needed to be repaired or siding falling off. When Uncle Ray's truck broke down, he didn't get it fixed. He just rode a bicycle around town. He always wore Levi's blue jeans and a white cotton t-shirt. He would mow lawns for some extra money, and he was a car salesman back in the day. Ray and Anne passed 3 hours apart, in different facilities. Anne first, then Ray. Since Ray was the last one living, they contacted his next of kin, which was my mum. She got a call from a lawyer and was scared to call him back, because she thought they were going to make her pay for the funerals. Lawyer says no, you just need to come in and talk to me. Stacks and stacks of CDs and bonds. Laundry basket filled with cash, covered in clothes. Cash rolled up under kitchen sink. Some here, some there. Multiple bank accounts, ended up being close to $2 million. The only bill my mum had to pay in Ray's name after he passed was his electric bill, $37. 2. Their uncle was a member of the syndicate a couple years ago. My great-uncle passed. When he passed, in addition to a mansion in Chicago, he left $15 million for his children to split up $3 million each. As it turns out, he used to be only 2 steps below kingpin of a large Chicago syndicate. He took some money and left for good after getting hurt, and realizing that he did not want his children to grow up without a father. Also, his wife had owned 2 WH*re houses before selling them and marrying him. 3. They discovered a scary family secret. In India, January 2013, both of my grandparents passed just hours apart. At the time, my mother and I were told that my grandfather passed of a brain hemorrhage and my grandmother passed in her sleep. My aunt and uncle flew from England, where they reside, to India when they heard my grandfather was asleep from the hemorrhage. This year my mother began talking to a man in India who was one of my grandfather's best friends. This man was with my aunt and uncle during the time of their passing. According to this man, my aunt and uncle woke up and found my grandmother deceased in her bed and just left her there. They didn't do anything about her dead body for hours. They just left it in her bed. While my grandmother's corpse was still in her bed, my aunt and uncle went to the hospital to see my grandfather. The doctor said my grandfather would come out of the sleep state soon and would be fine, but my aunt and uncle decided to pull the plug on him anyways. They went back to the house, and one of the housemaids showed my aunt that my grandmother's dead body was foaming at the mouth. My aunt took her scarf, wiped away the foam, and kept the scarf there to prevent anyone from seeing the foaming. So basically, my aunt and uncle slayed my grandparents, but they found a secret savings account. My grandmother was a lovely lady. She had little money, and lived simply. We loved each other, and it was a special relationship. When she passed, I was very surprised to discover that she had quietly scrimmed and saved over the years, and left enough money for me in her will to pay for my college education. That was her dream, and I had no idea, as she never said even one word about it. 5. They discovered their father's unsettling past. After my dad passed, I found out he had run a flamethrower for 3 months digging the Japanese out of the caves in the Philippines. My dad didn't talk about the conflict much, he never mentioned this part. Found out from Mum he had terrible nightmares all his life about it. 6. They finally got closure on their father's passing. My father passed when I was 12. The night before he passed, I was staying the night with my cousins. I wanted to go home really bad because they were older than me and were all watching scary movies, and I didn't want to, but didn't want to go to bed super early either. I called home and begged to come home, but he wouldn't let me. I yelled, "I hate you," and hung up the phone. Yeah, so those were my last words to Dad. I spent almost 15 years thinking he had passed angry with me. One day a few years ago, I was talking to my mother and mentioned how heavy that weighed on me. She shocked me by busting out laughing her asterisk off. She said after he hung up the phone, he cracked up because he definitely didn't want me home. They were about to have relations. So yeah, he didn't pass angry with me. He was just boning my mum. Don't forget to like, share, follow and subscribe for your daily dose of wild Reddit story.